Sarah Lawrence uniquely embraced me in a way that I think has just totally stuck with me my entire life, my career. There's kind of not a project that goes by that I don't reflect on the freedom I had at Sarah Lawrence as a student. And this idea of innovation became like tangible when I actually started trying to figure out how to make a living as a filmmaker. And I know so much of that was born out of my experience at the college. I really appreciated not having any real restraints in terms of kind of the type of films I wanted to make, how they'd come out, and even being able to use filmmaking in other classes. For example, I had a psychology course, totally intimidated by the amount of reading and papers that I had to do. But I talked to the professor in the conferences, and she allowed me not only to take care of the assignments that were required, but I could make a film in response to some of the work we were doing. So in that way, Sarah Lawrence was really the beginning of understanding images, the power of them, and how I could connect them to everyday things in my life. After Sarah Lawrence, I went to grad school for film school. But Sarah Lawrence really kind of laid a foundation, a creative foundation for me, where I felt confident enough to move on and actually get the technical pieces that I need to complete the puzzle. I think the beauty of studying film at Sarah Lawrence is that you're not just studying film. You're making films, but you're influenced by art history, social sciences, literature, and ultimately I think directing for film is about storytelling. And if you're only learning the technical aspects of filmmaking and you're only learning what it means to load cameras, then you're totally missing something. So students that are able to embrace film and include all of what they're digesting in their other classes really makes for a great storyteller, and at the root of it all, it's just telling a great story. A liberal arts education is about including everything else that's going on in your life here as a student. I'm here as a professional, I'm here as a faculty member, and I'm also here as an alum. So in a given day, there's 3 pieces of me operating on campus, and so I'm listening to my students and seeing myself in them, and knowing all the tricks and having high expectations. But I'm also totally inspired by them creatively, and so there's a really there's a great relationship between my students and my creative work. And so if we're all willing, the conversation in the classroom can be really interesting because I share work, they're sharing work, and there's no hierarchy in terms of our relationship. There's just kind of a very basic respect for each other as artists. Teaching informs my creative work, no doubt. And I think the students appreciate that as well. And I think they also appreciate that I've gone through what they're going through right now. So the words I'm sharing aren't just coming out of academia, they're actually from the ground up.